Costco employees won't tell you this, but there's a hidden section most shoppers walk right past, packed with items that could literally add years to your life. Meanwhile, 3 products in the health food aisle are quietly wrecking your metabolism. The difference between them? You'd never guess. Costco's Kirkland Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oil has a secret most shoppers never discover. Independent labs have tested it against dozens of grocery store brands. The result? Many of those fancy-looking bottles failed purity tests. Kirkland passed. That dark bottle isn't just for looks either. Light destroys the antioxidants you're actually paying for. 1 tablespoon gives you 10% of your daily vitamin E plus inflammation-fighting polyphenols. Here's where it gets interesting. People who use olive oil daily have 28% lower risk of heart problems. That's not marketing fluff. That's peer-reviewed science. And the price? Roughly 35 cents per ounce. Half what you'd spend at regular stores for the same quality. The 2-pack lasts most families 4 to 6 months. But olive oil isn't the only pantry hero hiding at Costco. Wild-caught salmon in a can might sound boring. But here's the thing. It's basically a nutritional superhero hiding in your pantry. Each can delivers around 17 grams of protein and a full day's worth of omega-3s. Your heart literally thanks you. And unlike its farmed cousin, wild Alaskan salmon contains significantly less mercury and 0 antibiotics. No sketchy stuff. Here's something most people don't realize. Those soft bones in canned salmon? Totally edible. They provide 20% of your daily calcium. My grandmother would be proud. Fresh salmon goes bad in days. The canned version sits happy for 3 to 5 years. That's longer than most gym memberships last. The Kirkland brand sources from sustainable Alaskan fisheries, too. Now, speaking of ancient nutrition powerhouses, here's the thing about quinoa. It's one of the few plant foods that gives you all 9 essential amino acids. Your body literally cannot make these on its own. That's protein quality usually reserved for meat and eggs. Costco's 4-pound bag runs about 25 cents per serving. Regular stores? 60 cents for the same thing. My wallet noticed that difference real fast. And it lasts forever. Well, 2 to 3 years sealed in your pantry. That's longer than most New Year's resolutions. 1 cup cooked gives you 8 grams of protein and 5 grams of fiber. White rice can't even compete. Quick tip, though. Rinse it before cooking. There's a natural bitter coating called saponin that'll make your dinner taste like regret. But protein isn't everything. What about healthy fats? Here's the thing about raw almonds. 1 ounce gives you 37% of your daily vitamin E. That's more than most supplements, and it comes with protein attached. Costco's 3-pound bag runs about 28 cents per ounce. Regular grocery stores? 50 cents. Easy math. But here's what surprised me. Raw almonds actually work as a prebiotic. They feed the good bacteria in your gut. Who knew a nut could double as a probiotic helper? And unlike roasted versions, raw almonds keep all their heat-sensitive nutrients intact. No added oils either. Studies show people who snack on almonds eat about 130 fewer calories at their next meal. They're like a natural appetite dimmer switch. One storage tip that changed everything for me? Freeze them. Shelf life jumps from 6 months to a full year. Now, speaking of healthy fats with serious staying power, a few months ago I had no idea what a health ring even was until my fiancé got me one, and I have to say, I'm shocked this isn't a widely known and used product. It tracks my stress levels, and what I found out is that some supplements made my stress score spike, while others actually helped bring it down. I adjusted a few things based on that, and honestly, I feel 10 years younger. My wife mainly uses it to track her menstrual cycles, and she is obsessed with her sleep quality score. I noticed they are currently running a limited 69% discount, but I don't know how long it will last. It's currently only $60, and it's clear this one is the best bang for your buck, with other health rings priced around $350 with less functions. They managed to price it this low because they cut out the middleman like Amazon, Walmart, etc., who drive up the price and take a big margin, ending up with the customer paying 3 to 5 times more. If you are on TV, you can check it out yourself by pausing the video and scanning the QR code with your phone camera or clicking the first link in the description of this video. Black beans are basically nature's protein bar, minus the weird chemical aftertaste. 1 cup gives you 15 grams of protein and 15 grams of fiber, for under 50 cents. Try finding that deal anywhere else. Here's a kitchen hack most people skip. Drain and rinse your canned beans. Just that simple step washes away up to 40% of the sodium. Gone. Down the drain where it belongs. And those dark, almost purple skins? They're packed with anthocyanins, the same antioxidants that make blueberries a superfood, except beans cost a fraction of the price. The resistant starch in black beans feeds your gut bacteria while keeping blood sugar steady. Your digestive system will thank you. Costco's bulk cans run 60% cheaper than buying singles elsewhere. But beans aren't your only fiber powerhouse worth grabbing. Steel-cut oats are basically the bodybuilders of the oat world. They're less processed than rolled oats, which means your body has to work harder to break them down. That's actually a good thing. Slower digestion equals steadier energy and no mid-morning crash. Here's the math that'll make you smile. Costco's 6-pound container gives you around 90 servings. That's about 11 cents per breakfast. My coffee costs more than my entire meal. 1 serving packs 5 grams of fiber, including beta-glucan. That's the stuff clinically proven to lower bad cholesterol. Your heart will thank you. Now, the 30-minute cooking time scares people off. Fair enough, but soak them overnight in the fridge, and you're down to 10 minutes. Problem solved. Speaking of tiny but mighty, wait until you see what chia seeds can do. Chia seeds might be the only food that works harder than you do. Drop 2 tablespoons in water and watch them absorb 12 times their weight in liquid. They literally grow in your stomach, which tricks your brain into thinking you ate more than you did. Sneaky, right? Here's what blows my mind. These tiny specks pack more omega-3s per ounce than salmon. Now, it's a different plant-based form called ALA, but still impressive for something smaller than a sesame seed. 2 tablespoons deliver 10 grams of fiber. That's 40% of what older adults need daily. Ancient Aztec messengers survived 24-hour runs between cities eating mainly chia. Meanwhile, I get winded walking to my mailbox. The best part? They taste like absolutely nothing. Sprinkle them anywhere. But there's another ancient remedy sitting on Costco's shelves that actually has science backing it up. The cloudy stuff floating in apple cider vinegar looks suspicious, like something went wrong at the factory. But that murky blob is actually the whole point. It's called the mother, and it's packed with beneficial bacteria and enzymes that filtered versions completely lack. Here's where it gets interesting. Taking just 1 tablespoon before meals may reduce blood sugar spikes by up to 34%. Not bad for something that costs pennies per serving. And unlike most health fads that disappear faster than my hairline, apple cider vinegar has actual peer-reviewed research backing it up. Real science. Not just some influencer's opinion. Costco's 2-pack of Bragg's Organic runs about 40% cheaper than buying bottles separately elsewhere. One warning, though, never drink it straight. That acid will wreck your tooth enamel faster than you can say dentist bill. Now, chia seeds might look unimpressive, but wait until you see what they do inside your stomach. Here's the thing about almond butter. It's basically peanut butter's overachieving cousin who went to college and came back with a better resume. 3 times more vitamin E, 50% more fiber, and none of the cheap palm oil that most peanut butter brands sneak in. The Kirkland version keeps it simple. Almonds. That's the whole ingredient list. No added sugar, no hydrogenated fats. Just ground-up almonds doing their job. 2 tablespoons give you 7 grams of protein, plus those heart-healthy monounsaturated fats doctors won't shut up about. Now, fair warning, the natural oils separate and float to the top. Annoying, right? Store the jar upside down between uses. Problem solved. Spread it on apple slices, and you've got protein, fiber, and healthy fat working together. But walnuts? They've got a trick nobody talks about. Walnuts are the only tree nut with significant amounts of plant-based omega-3s. Every other nut? Not even close. Here's what's wild. Just 14 walnut halves daily can improve your cholesterol levels within 4 weeks. That's not some health blog claim. That's clinical trial data. And they contain melatonin naturally. Some research actually links eating walnuts to better sleep quality. A snack that helps you sleep? Sign me up. Costco's 3-pound bag runs about $6 per pound. Regular grocery stores charge $9 to $12 for the same thing. My wallet thanks me every time. Now, the wrinkled appearance that looks exactly like a brain? Oddly fitting since walnuts support cognitive function. Nature has a sense of humor. One important warning, though. Keep them refrigerated. High oil content means they go rancid faster than other nuts. Speaking of things that look unassuming but pack serious nutrition, here's the thing about tomatoes that most people get backwards. Raw tomatoes seem healthier, right? Wrong. Cooking them actually boosts lycopene absorption by up to 50%. That's the antioxidant linked to lower prostate cancer risk and better heart health. Costco's 8 can packs of organic diced tomatoes run about $1.25 per can. Elsewhere, you're paying double. Now, grab the no-salt-added version. Same great tomato flavor, but you control the sodium. 1 cup gives you 30% of your daily vitamin C, plus a solid dose of potassium. And with a 2-year shelf life, these cans sit patiently until you need them. But speaking of pantry staples that last forever, there's one grain most people store completely wrong. Brown rice is basically white rice that didn't get mugged. It still has its bran and germ layers intact, which means 4 times more fiber than the stripped-down version. 1 cup cooked gives you magnesium, selenium, and B vitamins that white rice had stolen during processing. Now here's where Costco really shines. Their 25-pound bags bring your cost down to about 8 cents per serving. 8 cents! That's cheaper than the napkin you'll wipe your hands on. The extra fiber helps keep blood sugar steady instead of spiking like you just ate a candy bar. Yes, it takes 45 minutes to cook versus 20 for white rice, but throw it in a rice cooker and forget about it. One important storage tip, though. Those natural oils can go rancid within 6 months, so freeze your bulk stash. Speaking of sweeteners that actually have some redeeming qualities, raw honey is basically nature's time capsule. The stuff found in Egyptian tombs, still edible after 3,000 years. Try that with your average grocery store sweetener. Here's what most people don't realize. Regular honey gets heated during pasteurization, which destroys the enzymes, pollen, and antioxidants that make honey actually beneficial. You're essentially paying for expensive sugar water. Kirkland's raw honey keeps all that good stuff intact, and at around $2.50 per pound versus $7 to $10 at farmers markets, your wallet stays happy too. Now, it does have sugar. Let's be honest about that. But the fructose-glucose balance gives it a gentler blood sugar impact than white table sugar. Plus, you get trace minerals like iron and zinc. One thing, though, it crystallizes over time, totally normal. Just warm water bath, good as new. Speaking of things that look weird but work great, let's talk coconut milk. Coconut milk in a can is basically heavy cream's tropical cousin. But here's what makes it interesting. Full-fat coconut milk contains MCTs, medium-chain triglycerides. Your body burns these for energy almost immediately instead of storing them as fat. Need a creamy curry? Done. Dairy-free soup? Perfect. And unlike heavy cream, zero lactose to worry about. Now, the quality difference matters. Costco's organic cans contain just coconut and water. That's it. Cheaper brands? They sneak in gums, thickeners, and fillers that sound like chemistry homework. Price-wise, you're looking at roughly $1.50 per can versus $3 to $4 for organic elsewhere. One trick I love. Refrigerate the can overnight. The thick cream rises to the top. Scoop it out for dairy-free whipped topping. Use the liquid underneath for smoothies. But speaking of legumes that deserve more respect, lentils might be the most underrated item in this entire list. Here's what makes them special. They cook in 20 to 25 minutes. No overnight soaking, no planning ahead. Just dump them in a pot, and you're done. 1 cup cooked gives you 18 grams of protein and 16 grams of fiber. Cost? About 20 cents. They're also loaded with folate. A single cup delivers 90% of your daily needs. That's wild for something so cheap. And here's the thing. People in blue zones, those regions where folks regularly live past 100, eat lentils constantly. Maybe they know something we don't. The flavor situation is interesting too. Lentils absorb whatever spices you throw at them. They're basically flavor sponges. But not everything at Costco deserves pantry space. Some items should stay on the shelf. Now we get to the stuff you should leave on the shelf. Starting with those flavored instant oatmeal packets. Look, I get it. Tear, pour, microwave, done. But here's the problem. A single packet of maple brown sugar oatmeal packs 12 to 13 grams of added sugar. That's 3 teaspoons before you've even had your morning coffee. The American Heart Association says women should cap added sugar at 25 grams daily. So 1 packet gets you halfway there at breakfast. And because instant oats are processed so finely, they spike your blood sugar almost like white bread. Defeats the whole purpose of eating oatmeal, doesn't it? The kicker? Those convenient packets cost 4 to 5 times more per serving than plain oats. But instant oatmeal isn't the only breakfast imposter hiding in those Costco aisles. Now here's where things get sneaky. Granola has this reputation as health food. It sits in the natural aisle. The packaging shows mountains and sunshine. Must be good for you, right? Wrong. Most Costco granolas pack 8 to 12 grams of sugar per half cup. That's 3 teaspoons of sugar in what looks like a tiny serving. And here's the kicker. Nobody eats half a cup. You pour what looks reasonable, and suddenly you've consumed 3 servings without blinking. Those crunchy clusters everyone loves? They get their crispness from sugar and oils binding everything together. It's basically oatmeal cookies pretending to be breakfast. Even the ones labeled organic or ancient grains pull this trick. Fancy words, same sugar bomb. But granola isn't the only wolf in sheep's clothing at Costco. Here's the thing about flavored nut mixes. They take one of nature's healthiest snacks and turn it into dessert. Honey roasted almonds pack about 4 grams of added sugar per ounce. That's not a snack anymore. That's candy wearing a health food costume. And the ingredient list: MSG, maltodextrin, artificial flavors. Your grandmother wouldn't recognize half of it. The roasting process itself damages those delicate omega-3 fats you're supposedly eating nuts for in the first place. Kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Meanwhile, sodium in these flavored versions hits 150 milligrams per ounce. Raw nuts? Zero. Here's what surprised me, though. After about 2 weeks of eating plain nuts, the flavored ones taste almost sickeningly sweet. But speaking of sneaky sugar, dried fruit might be even worse. Here's where things get really sneaky. Dried cranberries seem innocent enough. Fruit, right? Healthy? Well, Craisins list sugar as the second ingredient. They're adding sweetness to something already sweet. That's like putting syrup on a cinnamon roll. 1/4 cup serving can hit 30 grams of sugar. That's more than your entire daily limit in a handful. Gummy bears are practically jealous. And here's what kills me. The drying process already concentrates the natural sugars. Raisins are sweet. Dried mango is sweet. They don't need help. But wait, there's more disappointment. Those bright orange apricots? Sulfur dioxide preservatives keep that color. Some people react badly to it. Look for unsweetened versions or freeze-dried fruit instead. Same flavor. Zero guilt. Speaking of guilt, some pasta sauces belong in the candy aisle. All right, here's where it gets ridiculous. Most jarred pasta sauces at Costco contain 6 to 10 grams of sugar per half cup. That's almost as much as chocolate milk in a savory tomato sauce. Why? And sugar hides under sneaky names. Cane juice, dextrose, fruit concentrate. Same stuff, different costume. Then there's the sodium problem. Over 500 milligrams per serving in many brands. That's 1/4 of your daily limit before you even add the Parmesan. Here's what bugs me, though. Making your own sauce takes maybe 10 extra minutes. Canned tomatoes, garlic, basil, done. Tastes better, too. Costco sells those plain diced tomatoes we talked about earlier. Use those instead. You'll get real tomato flavor without the sugar bomb, and your wallet stays happier.